Okay, now let me know whether you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me good? Okay, because I don't want to
Mm,
yell. Okay,
mm-mm.
and let me know whenever.
We're good.
Oh,
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. How's everybody doing out there? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Welcome to another episode of Feminine Alchemy. I am your host, Tracy the Sacred CEO, and we are the number one podcast that is dedicated to the evolution of women over 40. And in this episode of Feminine Alchemy, we will be speaking about mental health and wellness. This is Mental Health Month and we Mental Health Awareness Month, and we definitely want to get into that before the month ends. So, in this episode, I am joined by the therapist Inas Bilal. We will discuss mental wellness for women over 40. Many of us have issues with age anxiety because in this society, due to how they award and promote beauty in youth in association with youth, many times it's hard for us who, oh, those of us who go over 40 and we're having all of these body changes, and we look in the mirror one day and things have just changed for us, where our skin isn't as youthful, we have the lines, we see different things going on with our bodies, with our facial structure. This can cause a lot of anxiety when this society really praises beauty associated with you. But let me tell you something, honey, about us being over 40. We are seasoned. We are seasoned and savvy. And honey, if I tell you there are some beautiful women out there over 40, over 50, over 60, and they doing the damn thing, right? But we're going to talk about the mental wellness and how to get over some of that age anxiety. Also, we're going to be speaking about some age acceptance. We also going to share about aging parents, those of us who are in our 50s and 60s or even 40s, and we're taking care of aging parents. And we're going to speak about raising adult children. What is it like for us when we have the adult children who are still home and just can't get right? Or they just taking a little bit more time than usual, right? So we're gonna get into it tonight. Welcome, Inez. Can you tell everybody who you are? Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. Yes, my
Yes.
name is Inez Bilal, and I am here with Tracy today, having a wonderful evening. We got a lot of good topics that I'm going to be very happy to cover with you. I'm currently a CEO of a mental health agency located in College Park, Georgia, and it's called Seeds of New Beginnings. I'm also a co-author of a book entitled Adult in My Childhood Pain. I'm also a mom of seven, five girls and two boys, and a grandmom of 10, eight grandsons and two granddaughters. So I have a pretty full life here in Atlanta, Georgia.
And baby, I want to tell you, you look amazing.
Oh,
You look
thank you.
amazing. And how many years young are you, darling?
55.
Come through 55.
55
Y'all
years
see
old.
that
Yes,
skin?
ma'am.
Y'all see that skin though?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Thank
So I
you.
make 58 years here,
Okay,
58 this
okay.
year. And if you want to talk about somebody proud, I am
Hmm.
proud to come into the wisdom of 58. I'm very
Yes,
happy to be touching 60. I'm
yes,
very
yes.
happy because it brings another kind of appreciation.
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
it's a whole nother appreciation for life. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about age appreciation.
Right. Okay. Well, for me myself, I feel good. And I now would know what everybody mean when they say age is nothing but a number. I've always heard that until I seen even my own youth, and I'm like, okay, I'm 55, but I don't. A lot of people say I don't look 55. I don't look like a mom of seven. I don't look like a grandmom of 10. Like, so I definitely appreciate it and know it's a blessing, to even see 55. So in about 4 more months, I'll be 56 years old. So it's a double blessing for me to be alive and to even see 55. So I'm not complaining at all about that
Mm.
age. I'm very happy and I'm very grateful to be here.
Yes, yes, I
Hmm.
love it. I love it. So, in that appreciation, what are some things we can do as women who we are struggling with the changes in our bodies, we're struggling with the changes in our facial structures, we're seeing differences in our hair. We are actually experiencing perimenopause and menopause, and that's a whole nother subject.
Yes.
So, what
Yeah.
would you say about us accepting the change?
I would say embrace it, and there's so many different things that you can do to actually maintain it. And as women, we're hormonal, so our body are going to be going through so many different changes. God made us so beautiful, so I'm talking about powerful enough to give birth to another human. And that's
Mm-hmm.
powerful, right
Mm-hmm.
there, as a mom, and as a female. So one of the things that I think that has helped me is like going to the gym, exercising,
Okay.
accepting, just being in acceptance of my age, still modestly dressing and, just coming into the other half, because now we 50, I'm now I'm 55, so I'm going into the other half of my life, and I want to go into the other half of my life embracing, loving myself, loving life, accepting life and accepting myself for who I am. So being 55, I haven't experienced any negative, effects of that. I do see the changes, in my body,
Mm-hmm.
in my health. I do see that, and I'm understanding it. And I'm also learning the things I need to do to keep my health up, like making my
Wow.
doctor visits and taking care of myself, working out at the gym, eating healthy and eating right, because changes come as you get older. You can't eat everything that you used to eat. Your body
Mm,
will let you know that you
mm-mm.
cannot do that. So I'm keeping up with that and making sure that, and I fall off a lot, but I get right back up and I start that process over again, because I don't want to become ill at 55. So I have to eat right. I have to be healthy and I have to take care of myself. That's like something major, that I feel.
You know what? You brought up a very good point because you said our bodies will let us know. And honey, I'm telling you, at 50, that's what I say. The check engine light comes on. Your
Hmm.
body will let you know what food you can no longer eat.
Yeah.
You will have different reactions. A lot of times it'll come from the gut. That's when usually we start going into things of like high blood pressure, sometimes
Yes.
diabetes. We start crossing over to into that realm because for
Yes.
the first 50 years, we was just kind of, moving
Hmm.
through and not really checking on all that. Because why? Many times we're feeling younger than our age anyway. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I
Right.
feel every bit of 35.
Okay.
Yeah, honey, when I say I feel every bit of 35, I feel 35. So sometimes I have to remind myself, you can't rooster like you used to. You wait a minute, sis, you pushing a little too hard. You're not 35 no more. My body will
Hmm.
definitely let me know, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with that, those food choices, I'm with you on that one. I am more intentional now when I eat,
Hmm.
much more intentional. And that's what I call it. I call it intentional eating. So
Yeah.
things that I used to be able to eat, I can't eat anymore. However, something that I do, I give myself 1 day of grace.
Oh, okay.
One
Okay.
day, one day. Matter of fact, my day is today. So I give myself Mondays are my day of grace where I eat kind of what I want, but I don't overdo it because I'm still very intentional, right?
Okay. Yes,
So yeah,
ma'am.
and that has actually helped me with my health because at age 50, like I said, that check engine light did come on, and
Hmm.
I had to get real. I had to get real. Period.
Yeah.
I had to get real about it. So how important is it? Because I noticed many times when we get to ignoring the signs and signals of what our body's telling us,
Hmm.
many times that's when we go into disease. Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Yeah, so you just made me remember. I remember when I moved back down here because I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. So when I moved down here in Atlanta in 2016, so about a year after that, and when I went to the doctor, Um, and the doctor did the blood test and everything, and then he said that, you know what, you're that pre
Yeah,
word,
yeah.
pre-diabetic, and you got to stop eating potato chips. You got to stop all the stuff that I love. He told me I had to stop. So that was just like a shocker to me. And it wasn't because he said that I can go right home and go right into it. So what
Mm-hmm.
happened when I continued to eat potato chips, eat chocolate, eat sweets, eat sugar, eat salt. I continued that until I found my ankles and my feet were swollen up. Right. And I couldn't understand why. So when I went back to the doctors and he told me why, and he said, well, did you do what we said to do? And I had to be honest and say, no, I didn't. Like, it was hard because I love my sweets. I love my sugar. and it was really hard. So I had to find out kind of like the hard way, like if you don't do this and take care of your body, you will be put on medication. So, I started to run, because I like running. So I started to run. It's good for the heart. I started to go to the gym often. And I tried to do what you just said. I just have one day, but my
Yeah.
one day, I'm not disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to work on that, because for some of us, that's all we have. So I still have to work on that. Like I just didn't have the discipline to not eat the potato chips, not eat the sugar, not eat, the candy bars, and not so I would just keep starting over until my body was actually start to reject some of the things. So like I
Mm.
can't drink Pepsis like I used to drink Pepsis. I can't eat sugary stuff like I used to, and there's certain stuff your body will not even allow you to consume because your body would not allow that. So that was the way I had to learn that, and going back to the doctor, and I just was saying, like, okay, now I'm ready. Like now I'm gonna
Right.
do, what I'm supposed to do because there's no way I could continue eating like that and be healthy. So and that was like one of the hardest health things that I had to, go through right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, because I noticed that it's hard for us to sometimes to let go of the foods. Like
Yeah.
I remember my dad, he had had heart surgery and he had to let go of salt. Salt was the biggest thing. Why?
Hmm.
Because he had inflammation in his body and he was swelling up. He kept
Yeah.
swelling up. So he had to let go of the salt. He had to let go of the pork. Now, he from deep down Louisiana.
Yeah.
Baby, he said, let go of the pork. I went in his house and took out all the salt stuff and got him some Bragg seasoning and started recooking for him and showing him how to change this and change that. My daddy almost 80. Change? What you talking about change, girl? I've been doing this all my life. I ain't doing nothing else, right?
Yeah.
So I was coming over after work and fixing him food and so I called him one day. I said, Daddy, what you want to eat today? You want a snake, some steak and potatoes, and I'm gonna make you a nice salad. No, 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 baby, I'm okay. I'm okay. I said, well, Daddy, what you gonna eat? He said, oh, I'm all right. I'm all right. I said, something going on over there. I said, oh, okay, Daddy. I pulled
Mm-hmm.
up over there. His sister over there got a pot of pig feet with some greens. So I said, what you doing over here, Aunt Lorena? And she said, hey, baby, everything. I said, Daddy, what you eating? His eyes was big. I went over
Wow.
in that pot. I said, Aunt Lorena, you know Daddy can't have these pig feet and stuff right now. It's hard. He got to keep his water levels down. She told me, well, that's what he said he wanted.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
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 So, and I noticed, especially when we're going to get into that, aging parents, they get to a stage in a place where they're not going to change.
Hmm.
And it's sad
Yes.
because we want them to
Yeah.
live longer. We want them to be here for us. We're doing all the things we can do to incorporate a healthier lifestyle. And they just
Yes.
like, and that like they feel this is what they feel with, and this is what some of them told me. They said, I've earned the right to smoke my cigarettes the way I want. I've earned the right to
Mm.
drink my
Yeah.
liquor. I've earned the right to eat like I want to. I'm leaving here anyway, baby. Let me do what I want to do. And part of me really understands that because
Yeah.
they did earn the right to do their life however they want to do it and find comfort in things maybe that's not even good for
Yeah.
them. But
Hmm.
how do
Hmm.
we deal with that? Those of us who are now reparenting our parents
Hmm.
and they're home with us. We're already over 40 to 50. we're coming into our own change. We're dealing with our own body issues. We're dealing with the change of menstruation and perimenopause and menopause and all of that. And then mama home, daddy home, and they're stuck. Help us. Help us, please, Ines. Help us, baby.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a funny one, and that's a hard one too, because it just have you take a look at your own self. So
Mm,
like when you get up to age like where your parents are, will you be able to follow through with sticking to your regimen, your diet, eating healthy and everything? And when you see the stubbornness in them, would that become you? Because usually sometimes when we say we're not going to be that way, we
yeah.
turn up to be exactly that way. So
Mhm.
like my mom doesn't live with me, but I know that my mom loved her sweets like me. And I know
Yeah.
she's not supposed to be eating her sweets like me. So she won't even let us know if she's doing what she's supposed to be doing and not eating those sweets. So
Do
it's
she hide
kind
the
of like,
rappers, girl? Do she hide the
yes,
rappers?
yeah. Yeah, so that's as much as I could say about that. I don't have my dad is not living, but my mom lives in Jersey. But I know and I've seen that it was a lot of sweets and stuff like that. She wasn't supposed to be eating them, but I know she like, don't tell me what to do. I'm old enough to do that. So the only thing we could do is like, okay, because they don't want to hear it, like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my thing is just taking heed to that. So when it comes to me, I could be able to be a little bit more disciplined and do what I need to do so that I won't end up with, diabetes, high blood pressure, and things of that nature like that. I just have to get more disciplined. But when I look and I see that my mom was more of, I can, don't tell me what I can't eat, like that. I was like, well, wow, I hope I don't like get that like that when it comes, when I age even more. But now is the time to get prepared because I'm gonna have to let go of a lot of more sweets and a lot of more things like fried food that I'm not supposed to be eating because I was already told to leave the fried food alone. And we love us some fried chicken, and that was
Honey.
kind of hard. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I struggle with, in that area of health.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
can you give us some so a lot of times it can be a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, especially when you have parents who may be bedridden. Um
Hmm.
and many of us we've just started sending more and more of our family members to the actual nursing home. This is what I'm
Mm.
noticing. But there was a
Hmm.
time we didn't send our people to the nursing home. We didn't
Yeah.
send our people in the care of them people. It was a time we had life and death in the house. We would birth
Yeah.
babies in the
Yes.
house, and the family would actually transition in the
In the
house. You
house.
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we meet
Yeah.
together and do that. And we've gotten away from that. We even, I
Yeah.
think, fear it to a degree,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, how do we handle being older, wanting to, live our lives, having parents who are their health issues and the concern for them are actually coming in between our marriages because it puts a
Mm.
lot of strain on a marriage
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
saying that my mom's there, this is not necessarily his mom, but this is my mom, and I have to put a lot of more attention in my mom and not as much in my marriage because my mom is transitioning. We have these different
Mm.
really going on, right? So
Yeah.
can you give us a level of mental and emotional care that we can start incorporating in order to deal with that?
Hmm. You know what? I was just thinking while you were talking that it's going to take working together and a lot of understanding. It's because you said something real important. You said that she's transitioning, and when they get older and they start to transition, the only thing you can do is give more love, more understanding, and everybody needs to be on the same page, with
On the
this
team.
because yeah, it has to take teamwork and understanding. And even as a parent, like your mom, like one of the things that I've noticed is that when you get older, right, as our parents are, sometimes they feel a certain way also, like they don't like that helpless feeling.
Okay.
They may not say nothing to you or, to us, but one thing that I noticed from a conversation that I had, that they don't like feeling helpless. They don't like that, even though they need you. They need your help. They need your assistance, but it's just a feeling. It's a really bad feeling that goes with that they experience of, I can't do this for myself anymore. I can't do that anymore. And I have to have help with this and help with that. And it really makes them feel bad. And I found that out by a conversation that I've had, and I just was like, wow. So I don't make them feel like that, and if they want to feel like, okay, I can do this, you can do it, yeah, but just let me give you a little bit of assistance right here, and then I know you got it, like that, because it's just not a good feeling. Some of the transitions as our parents go into, it's not a really good feeling, because now you have to have assistance, now you have to have help. We come from parents that's very independent, doing everything on their own, taking care of whole family, being the superhero of the family, to going back to being helpless. They need help. They can't do this. They can't do that. And it affects them. It really does. We may get frustrated because we have to be there every day and help them with this and help them with that. And we have stress, but it impacts them too, to be the one that needs the help like that from everybody. So just being understanding, of their feelings and how they could be feeling also is like a big help too.
Okay. What are some things that the adult child, the daughter or the son that is taking care of the parent, what are some things they can do to relieve some of that emotional or mental stress that comes
Mhm.
with taking care of a transitioning parent?
You know what? I think that support groups help, because they're not alone, and they would need a group of people that's doing the same they're doing, that's doing the same thing that they're doing, so that they can express their emotions, get out their frustrations, and then get the support from each other, or practice self-care for themselves, have a day where they have for themselves, where they go out to the movies, go eat, go do them, for a moment to rejuvenate and come back and finish taking care of the parent, and not getting frustrated, because the parent can get frustrated, the older adult could get frustrated, and then now is just angry and mad, animosity feelings, and it just get hard. So everybody need that breather. I believe that that would be something good if they do have support groups where you can just
Yes.
go, so that you can talk about whatever's going on, or even have the family to come together, to talk about it, because the family can actually work together towards this, because we're all going to get in that stage.
Mhm.
Everyone is going to get to that stage where now we're dependent on our family to help us, because we're in our 70s, we're in our 80s, we're in our, high 80s or whatever. And now we can't do that. And now we'll see what our parents felt. We'll see what they felt like when they get there. So my advice is to get into some type of support group. My advice is to practice a lot of self-care, and self-care management, so that you can get out and get that breather and get rejuvenated, because you got to come back and you got to start this over all over again. So you have to take that time out and do that.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yes.
Y'all heard that now. I hope y'all taking notes. I hope y'all taking notes and go. So where can they find a support group? Where would they need to go in their city? Is there something online they can go to? Or, do you have something online? Where can they go?
Um, Yeah, they would have to go online, and you could type anything in Google. So you just
Uh-huh.
type up, what type of support groups that you need, for
The
support, and
city.
then kind of, yeah, join that. I don't
Mhm.
have a specific support group like
Okay.
that yet, but we will. If you call us, we will find one for you. We would
Good.
definitely have to do the research and find one for you, because I'm pretty sure it's so many people going through this. It's so many people going through it. So I know that there are support groups out there, and I know there's people filling up them support groups, because everybody needs the support. Everybody
Yes.
needs it.
See, the
Hmm.
one thing that we can't ever avoid is aging.
Right. That's
And
coming no
everybody
matter what.
and that's coming, right? And we all are going to be in that position at some point if,
Yeah.
God willing, we live a long life.
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
all
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
meet that day where we're going to need those people that love us to assist us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what would you tell a married couple, a couple who's together? They don't necessarily have to be married, but maybe they're together, and one of the parents are there, or it could even be both parents. I know a couple who has to, a man has to drive 2 hours each day to go care for his mom, and her mom
Mm,
is in the house. That is really, really rough on them. How? Because that's a
mm-hmm,
strain on both of them, especially for their marriage.
mm-hmm,
What would you tell them? What kind of mental and emotional wellness can they receive from working together and doing something together to keep their relationship strong, their commitment
mm-hmm.
strong?
Yeah. And they can, like I said, they can also attend support groups for
Okay.
married couples that's going through trauma within the family, specific trauma, because he has to drive, like you said, the 2 hours to care for his mom,
Every
and then
day.
she's caring for her mom at home.
Yeah.
And when it comes to your parents, a lot of people is like, don't tell me what to do about my mother. Don't tell me
Hmm.
what I ain't going to do about my father. Like, I'm going to be there no matter what.
Yes.
So the thing, like I said, you have to have a lot of understanding, you know what I'm saying? And then you can choose specific support groups where you can go as a couple, to just understand, and then just sit down and talk as a couple, because we're going to get there. Like you said, we're going to become of age, and then our children is going to be doing the same thing for us, and sometimes we don't know and we don't understand until that becomes us. So it's going to have to take a lot of understanding, and a lot of research for a lot of support groups where you can even go as a couple so they can understand each other. Like, the love is there and everything. It's just that our parents is the one that brought us into this world. So we're going to care for them no matter what. We don't want our
Hmm.
marriage to break because of it, or we don't want to
Right.
strain our marriage. But that's when we have to put our egos and everything to the side and say, okay, I understand. And I'm going to be
Yes.
there for you. I definitely
Yes.
understand, because you have to understand it's got to be hard on him too if he's riding 2 hours every single day to see his
Hmm.
mom,
Hmm.
or if she's taking care of mom in the house. Of course, you're not going to get 100% of her attention, but you know why, and you understand. So that's where the understanding comes in, where, okay, I see what's happening. I see that these are our parents. They took care of us when we were babies and we were young, and now it's our turn to take care of them, with no questions asked. Like, this is what we do. And the love should not fail, because this is what I'm showing up for my mom,
Right.
like that. So,
Right.
and we human. So when we human, of course you're going to get, okay, where's my attention? Okay, well, I needed you to do this for me, and and that. But the thing
Hmm.
is, just got to work together. You got to find a way to kind of like make it work, and it's all out of love. It's all out of love.
Ooh, girl, this is
Yeah.
good. This is good.
Yeah.
This is good. Yes, yes. And
Yes.
I want to also say that I honor and commend those who are taking care of aging parents. It can be
Hmm.
very rough, but that's a commitment that no one understands until they really get there, right? So I just want to commend those also couples who are also taking care of their parents together and still making it work, because it can definitely be a stress on the
It's
relationship.
strange.
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely be a stress. But them support groups, honey. She said support groups.
Yes.
And also marriage
Yes.
counseling. Marriage
Yes.
counseling, because that's one of those times you need to go to a marriage counselor. You need to
Yes.
talk about it, because see,
Hmm.
needs aren't being met from one another in the marriage because of the time that you're giving to mama and stuff like that. So those are times when we need marriage counseling. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
ma'am. Yeah, and
Mhm.
we do offer that at Season New Beginnings. I have pastoral marriage counseling, marriage therapy there, so they would definitely be able to, if they're interested, to come and seek marriage counseling, even couple counselings at the agency too,
I
and get
love
the
it.
help that they need. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And we're going to give you
definitely.
all that information before we leave. She's going to give you all the information of how to connect with her, and also how to connect with Seeds of New Beginning for your mental health needs. Okay. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
want to speak a little bit about those children who just ain't flew the coop. Those children who just won't
Wow.
leave the nest. They 35 and they
Wow.
just won't leave the nest. One thing I want to be very clear: children are not grown at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 18, 21, that's some legalities there. They're a little
Hmm.
legal in the system. But when it comes to Black families, them children is still children to us, okay? They are not grown. We don't even really consider them adults till they get about 30. Let's be clear, right? You know,
Hmm.
until they get 30 and start doing making some real adult choices, because you got to remember, we was 20. 20
Yes.
was the year of experimentation. That was
Hmm.
the year of fucking up. The years of, you know what I'm saying? That was
Yes.
the years of making plenty of mistakes, doing a lot of falling and having to get up and dust ourselves off. Why?
Hmm.
Because we are finding things out. We are on our journey. So those
Yeah.
of us who have grown children still at home and they just real comfortable. Part of that I love. I love the fact that they have that kind of comfort with me, with mama, with parent, right? But the dependency part, I think that's the part where
Mm.
we get the where the stress and
Yeah.
the anxiety come in. It comes with the dependency and not wanting to take accountability for one's own life, meaning
Hmm.
they haven't quite grown up yet. 27, 28. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you
Yes.
have grown children. I know mine, they had got to the space and place because see, I don't believe in putting mine out. But my children I eventually did have to put out. Why? Because they thought I was living with them.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, they got the clowning, honey. They got the
Oh,
clown.
no, they didn't.
They thought I was renting a room for them. They thought my house was their house and I was renting a room from them. So I had to put my foot down. I had to create the
Yeah.
boundaries, right? So my
Uh-huh.
sons are in their 40s. So they understand. They cool now, but they was
Okay.
mad for a while. My daughters, they're married with children on their own and they still got a few little resentments. But now that their children are teenagers, they're starting to understand more of what
Yes.
I was
Yes.
speaking of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Yes.
now when they call me with it, I just chuckle a little bit. I be like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I just chuckle, girl, because I said, oh yeah, you gonna get that medicine. You gonna get that
Uh-huh. You're gonna get that.
medicine. Yeah. So how do we deal with adult children still at home when it was more than time enough for them to leave and they're just not making strides or making choices to leave? They're not implementing anything like towards moving on. They're just very
Hmm.
comfortable home. How do we deal with that, especially mentally and emotionally? Because honey, you be ready
Yeah.
to crack them over the head with something.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because now, if there's anybody actually that has children younger now for the preparation, because I had, like I said, I have seven. I'm a mom of seven, so my five daughters live with me, and they're all grown. And it took a lot, just like you shared that they thought that you were living with them, you were renting a room
Yes.
with them, and what happened is, as parents, we allowed them to get so comfortable that they don't really see themselves paying rent nowhere. Rent is high, paying gas, paying light, paying cable, when they could just be comfortable in mommy and daddy house and just relax, and don't even see themselves as being dependent. Like
Mm-hmm.
that. And it has a lot to do with, I'm gonna speak for myself because I didn't really push them to, okay, you have to be responsible, you have to learn how to do this and do that. And it was a struggle till it was very bad, and then what happened is I had made a decision about 6 months ago, but 6 or 7 months ago, I made a decision because we always lived together. Me, my grown daughters, I have five
Mm-hmm.
daughters, but three of them lived with me. And then they have children. So
Okay.
they all was coming in and it was just too much and it was too
Woo. Yeah.
bearing for me. And I just and it wasn't they didn't believe me, but I said, this is what we're gonna do. You guys are going to go get your own place, right? And I'm going to go ahead and get my own place. We're not going to be living in the house together anymore. Of course, they didn't believe me because they've been living with me for years, and their kids been living with me. So what happened is it happened. The day came and, I moved one someplace and she got there and I said, okay, I'm going to stay here while I'm waiting for my place to get ready for a couple months, and then I'm going to go ahead and move out. And I did, like
Mm-hmm.
that. And what I seen is that from them is that they wasn't 100% even ready.
Yes.
And that was because I did not prepare them to get ready, and usually
Uh-huh.
you prepare them like, okay, you're going to be such and such now. You need to go ahead, get a job, and you need to start saving your money, and then you're going to need to start paying rent. Rent is high,
Yes.
so it was a struggle getting them there, and they even had some resentments because
Yes.
of that, because it was too comfortable. I made it too comfortable to where
Mm-hmm.
they never
Mm-hmm.
thought that they would be living one place and
Yeah.
I would be living somewhere
Yeah.
else. So I'm 55 and this is my first time in 55 years ever living by myself.
Come
In
on, wait, wait, wait,
55
wait, wait.
years.
Hold on, hold on,
Yes.
hold on. My first
Yes.
time ever living on my own was at age 56.
Okay. Okay.
Age 56, but that was because I got recycled with my grandchildren.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
care of grandchildren, and they were
Yeah. I
gone
was
for
too.
13 years. So I
Mm-hmm.
got to actually live on my own for the first time ever in my life and care for myself. And we're going to talk a little bit about that after we talk about the kids, because
Mm-hmm.
that's even different. Having that
Yeah.
empty nest syndrome, especially in the 50s. A lot of
Yeah.
people get that a little earlier, right? So let's talk more about how to deal with those adult children, and we're going to get into that empty nest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then, like I said, I had to have the conversation with them, okay, listen, if you're on your own now, right, there's agencies you can go to. If you lose your job, you need your rent paid, you got agencies to go to, you got women and children shelter, wherever you need to go, you need to stand up on your own because if I passed away today, where are you going to go? You would have to stand up on your own. You
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have
You
a
got a choice.
choice.
Right.
So you have to live like that as if I'm not here because once I'm gone, where are you going to go? And I wouldn't want to do that to them. They don't know how to, live. They don't know how to pay rent. They don't know how to get a job. I don't want to do that. So we have to
Yeah.
instill them. We are our first teachers. Mothers are the first teachers of the children.
Come on.
So I have to teach them how to get a job, how to do this, how to do that, how to take care of yourself, how to be dependent, how to take care of your children, these things that we've done for them. It was one of
Yeah.
the hardest things to do was the separation because like I said, it's been 55 years and this is my first time experience living by myself. And I could see in them that there's still a little bit of resentments because they want to they want to still be able to
Yeah.
come
They want to have
home and
access to
not.
your resources.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
want to pay no rent.
Uh-huh.
They want to save their money up and maybe buy them a car, buy them clothes and all this other stuff while I pay all seven, eight
All the
bills.
bills.
So I
Yes.
said, I cannot do that. It's not good. So they'll get over their feelings. They will be okay. They will be independent and they will be able to teach their children to be independent. So
Right.
I was hurting them and not helping them by allowing them to stay with me throughout their adult years. That was not really helping them because they didn't even have no idea that they would be on their own right now. So now they
Right.
all have their own apartment and they all paying their own bills,
Right.
and
And
they all taking care of their own
even with that,
family.
they still got a little resentment. Even with that, with
Yeah,
them
they
being
do.
grown and
Yeah,
doing it.
they
Yeah.
definitely do. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I still think in the back of their mind, they like, you know what? If anything happened and we lose that apartment, she ain't gonna let us go out in the street because we got these little babies. I know she's gonna take us back.
Oh
I
yeah.
really
They
believe
baby,
in the back of their mind.
they
Yeah,
depending on them kids to be that meal ticket. Them grandkids,
yeah, yeah. And I
they
told
depending
you,
on them kids.
yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking, but I think as women, they need to really be independent and learn
Yes.
how to survive and learn how to live on their own, so this way they won't be dependent on a roommate or dependent on a man or dependent on, they'll be very fully self-sufficient. And I very much want them to be fully self-sufficient financially also so that they won't have to depend on other people. And they just have
Yes.
to go down that journey. It's their journey. It's time for them. This is a new journey for me. This is my new journey,
Right. And it's time for
and
you. It's time for you.
yeah,
They grown. See, that's
yeah,
my thing. My
definitely.
thing is y'all doing all that adult stuff, the enjoyment piece. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
doing all the adult stuff. Y'all making
Yeah.
children. Y'all with
Mm-hmm.
kids. You
Partying.
go partying.
Yeah.
All of this. You
Yeah.
doing all that adult fun, but you don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
the adult business.
Right.
But me
No.
too. I
Mm-hmm.
overcompensated for mine. I did.
Yeah.
I
And I did too.
overcompensated
I
because the
did too.
fathers weren't there. So I
Mm-hmm.
overcompensated. And
Mm-hmm.
with that, it created a lot of dependency. So
Yes. Yes. I did the
I
same
do
thing.
I do fault
Yeah.
myself for a lot of
Yeah.
it, you
Me
know.
too. Me too. I
Yes.
did the
So,
same thing. So I
but
definitely was overcompensating for a whole lot to the
mhm,
fact where I said that I had to put my foot down and say, you know what, this is what it is. You're gonna feel whatever you feel. I'm here if you need me for anything, but I have to teach you how to go out the nest, go out there, get an apartment, get a job, be independent, take care of your family and take care of your children, and you'll thank me later.
yeah,
You might don't thank
yeah,
me now, but you'll definitely thank me
hmm
later.
yeah. Like I
So
said, my daughters are in their 30s. They getting it now because their
yeah.
children are serving them what they were serving me.
Oh
They
yeah. Oh,
did.
I got one that's yep, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. I know exactly what
So
you're
now
talking
they
about.
call for advice to tell me,
Yeah.
let me tell you what he did. Let me tell you what he said.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah.
lot of nerve. I wanted to knock his block off. I had to do X, Y, Z, and I'd be like, uh-huh,
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
But you know what?
yeah,
I even had one tell me that now they know how I felt. You know, now
yeah,
they
they
know
say
what
that.
I went through because they were getting that back, right
Oh,
back
yeah,
from their child. So they like, you know what? Now I know what you meant because I remember when I did this and this to you, and
uh-huh,
now they doing this to me, and now I know what you. And I said, okay, so God allowed you to see that. You know,
yeah,
God allowed you
yeah.
to see
You
that.
got the
So yes,
wisdom.
that's how
You
it's
got the
happened. Yep,
wisdom. Yeah.
exactly.
I have them, they come back and actually apologize.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
They apologize, Mom. I'm sorry for when I said this to you and hurt your feelings because I
Mm,
understand now how that could have made you feel because my son just said X, Y, and Z to me. And I remember a time when I said something very similar and how you told me
okay.
it made you feel and I ignored your feelings. I just want to tell you I'm sorry. Yeah, they've come back and
Wow, that
apologized.
was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. How did that make you feel when that happened?
It made me feel real good that they caught the wisdom, that they caught up to the
Okay.
wisdom, But it's
Okay.
still they still have some resentments they working through though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even though they
Good.
having
Yeah.
their moments of wisdom, they still feel like I owe them to a degree. They still feel
Yeah. Yeah.
entitled to me and my
Yeah.
stuff. My
Yeah.
stuff though, it's my stuff. Like they want to have
Yeah.
access to my stuff. Basically, what they
Yeah.
really want is the nurturing. They want the nourishment.
Yeah.
They want to stay
Yeah.
connected to mama's bosom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's exactly what
Exactly.
it is. They want that mother's love at all costs, all the time. But what they don't understand is that type of codependency is very draining, especially when you get to a certain age of accountability.
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
is extremely draining and it will definitely cause your mental, emotional, and your physical health to break down. You will
Yeah.
literally get sick.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I've been there. You know, I've been there.
Yes.
Like I said, I try to keep my family together. I shared with you that my oldest son was murdered in 2006, and from there it was a strain on the family. So we were staying together. We were close knit. I wanted to make sure that everything, and you never be the same. When you lose a child, you're never the same. So now I'm not even the same mom that I was. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm really want to make sure everybody okay. So that took
Mm-hmm.
that was part of the I want to keep everybody
Woo!
together,
Right.
like that because I don't want to, but I cannot live in fear. I have to have that faith like they're going to be okay. God is going to cover them and they're going to be okay also. And they have to get out and they have to get on their own and stuff like that. So that was a little bit of, like a traumatic, for me also as a mom when they did start getting their own apartment, and moving on their own and stuff like that too, because I'm like, I don't want anything to happen. But like I said, I had to have
Mm.
that faith and trust that God is going to cover them and they're going to be okay, like that too.
Okay. So what I
Yeah.
heard from that is that we have to be able to let go, but in letting go, we have to give them the tools to be able to survive out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I said, was there anyone here that have younger children? They need to get prepared. They need to get
Yes.
prepared and give them the tools that they need so that when that time comes, they'll be able and let them, because there are parents that still don't want the children to leave.
Right.
There are
Right.
parents that's like, you're going to stay with me, all the way to the end. And my thing is that, and then when the parents pass away, then the child that's
They're
another type of
crippled. They're
loneliness.
crippled.
That's
And then they're
another type
crippled.
of
Yeah.
and that's crippling them
Yeah.
also. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't spoil them to the fact, or overcompensated to the fact that I
Mm.
contributed to crippling them,
Right.
and I don't want to be an enabler. I really
That's
wanted
the
them
word.
to kind of get this, yeah, like
That's
that.
the
So they
word.
can be
Enabling.
stronger because it's hard. It's hard when you enable them. It's hard for them to lead, and,
Now,
and for them to survive.
one thing that I recognized about when we enable them, when we enable our children or anyone, it's based on the fact that we are dealing with a codependency. We're dealing with some
Right.
abandonment issues. Like you said, your family dealt with a trauma of a loss, a big loss. You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
in that, you became codependent now on the rest of the children and keeping them safe and keeping them home and keeping them
Mm-hmm.
secure. And that's what I'm noticing about when we continue to enable our children, or we continue to enable anyone that we're in relationship with. It's a fear of being alone. It's a,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why that
Yeah.
dependence there, and it actually becomes toxic.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why you got to be very careful. And like I said, now we finally got our children out. So anybody coming in behind us, or if anybody got children that they're raising, they need to like take heed, like, okay, I have to give them the tools. I have to not enable them and know what enabling is, because a lot of parents don't even know what enabling is, and they enable, they
Yeah,
enable,
yeah.
but you gotta, educate them, give them the tools they need, and then begin their process, because the letting go process, the parent don't want to let go.
Yes,
They
yes,
don't
yes,
want to let
yes.
go. They can't sleep at night, and it was hard. Like I said, when I lost my son, I had other teenage girls, not teenage girls, older daughters who lived on their own, and I still was nervous. I was a nervous mom. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen. And I felt like I had some control because I had most of them there. So at least I
Mhm.
could see you. I know you okay. But
Right.
then you have to still equip them with the tools they need, because they're not going to be there, or when they get old enough to get out on their own. You have to give them
Hmm.
that and allow them to experience life.
Right.
Don't you want to know what life is on your own and experience it? You're going to have the bumps and bruises. It's your journey.
Yeah.
Each of them have their own journey, and I don't want to take them or take that experience away from them by making everybody stay under one roof, when I'm crippling you and I'm taking your experience away from you. I can't take
Mm.
that, I
Taking
can't
your
take that from you.
experience.
Yeah, I have to
Taking your
allow you to
experience.
have your process. Yeah, allow
Exactly.
you to have your journey.
That's very, very, very good. I actually experienced one son when I began giving him the tools and sharing the tools with him once he got about 21. I
Hmm.
started really giving him the tools. And I wasn't actually pushing him out. I just needed him to be prepared for that time. If he
Okay.
wanted to meet a woman and then he decided to be together, you know what I'm saying? Or, he began working, he got a really good job. So we taught him about the bank system and how to save money and how to keep an account and how to get, I taught him how to pay bills, how to get a money order, just all
Hmm.
these things. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest with you, he was terrified. He was
Wow.
terrified. He was like almost paralyzed. Like we be in the bank and he was just paralyzed because he kept saying, "You putting me out?" And I kept saying, "No, I'm
Oh,
not putting you
wow.
out."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and I
Yeah.
said, "No, I'm not putting you out. I just need to prepare you because you're becoming a young man, and I need you to be independent if anything goes down or you decide to move on or whatever may happen. I need you to know how to do these things." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And yeah, he
Yeah.
was terrified. But that came from his
Wow.
trauma too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a daughter who have a teenage son too. And I was telling her, you need to teach him how to catch the bus. You need to
Mhm.
teach him certain things, because she's very sheltered. Like, he doesn't know how to catch the bus. He doesn't know how to do a lot of things. And he's about to be 16 years old and don't know how to do a lot of stuff. And that's because she's sheltered. Like
Okay.
the way we was is a shelter. But I'm saying, if you passed away today, what is he gonna do? He doesn't know how to
Hmm.
do this. He doesn't know how to do that. You have to teach them. And a lot of parents don't like it because they know that that's part of the letting go process too.
Yes, yes.
So
So
it's like,
let's talk
if you
about
don't know how to, yeah, if you don't know how to cook, I ain't got to worry about you burning. And it took me a while to
right.
teach my girls how to cook, because I didn't want them to burn nothing. So I said, I'll cook, I'll do
You ain't
all the
want them
meals,
all in your
everything.
kitchen messing nothing
Yeah.
up. Huh?
Uh-huh. But the thing
That's a
was,
black
when they
mama.
left, they didn't know how to cook nothing. I could make some eggs, or I could make some grits or
Toast.
some bacon,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to cook. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even teach you guys how to cook. Right? So it's a
Wow.
lot. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the empty nest. Let's
Hmm.
talk about when all the kids leave. Let's talk about those of us who are even married and all the children leave. And then we're going to even get into the singleness of it with for
Yeah.
women that may not be married.
Hmm.
I noticed that a lot of women who are married and the children leave, it's unfortunate, and I'm not saying all of them. Some of them, the when men age, their testosterone levels decrease and they lose more energy. a lot of women, sometimes when they go through menopause and perimenopause, after they get through the change, they have an enormous amount of energy and they're ready to travel. They're ready to go. They're ready to do things. The kids are gone. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
Harold, he just want to sit on the recliner and get the remote with his ear and go get the fishing rod. And she
Uh-huh.
like the kids are gone. Let's go. Let's live our lives. Let's do the things we talked about doing that
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We couldn't do because the children we had to put money in other places and all that. Now we can do that, Harold. Like what
Yeah.
you know, what can we
Yeah.
say for
Yeah.
that couple? What can we tell that couple?
Yeah. You know what? And it makes sense, like what you're saying for the married couple. Like now, let's live our stuff. Let's enjoy
Yeah,
the rest of our life like that. And it's just that you've been so used to and conditioned to be the caregiver and taker that now it's time for you to do it for yourself. And it just feels weird. It's like a weird feeling. Like, are we really free? Can we really just do this? Like
right.
that. So that takes a while. But once you get into it and you love it, you won't let nobody come in and take that piece away from you. You be like, okay, no, we don't have to do this right now for the kids. We got to make sure we're here, they're there. We can just go like that. But everybody's different because, like you said, maybe the wife says, let's go, and the husband says, no, I want to relax. So you want to travel and do everything, and he wants to sit in the recliner and relax, so it's like two
Yeah,
different things. So you got to
yeah.
meet in the middle somewhere where you both can have some happiness. Now, in the beginning, for me, like I said, this is my new beginning here, as a single parent, that it just feels the freedom of not hearing everybody's crying all the time, and kids crying or they're arguing and all this other stuff that they go through. That was a blessing and that's a benefit. But there is still that loneliness now because, like I said, if you've never been alone for the whole 55 years, now you're alone. That's right there is kind of traumatic also. It's a breath of fresh air, but still it's like anxiety. It
Yes.
heightens your anxiety because now you can, okay, now you're alone. But one thing about me is that because of the death of my son and the other traumatic incidents that I've had in my life, now I can actually feel, because right after a lot of times when you have a death, you put something to replace the feeling so you don't have to go through that. So you
Yeah.
jump in
Try to
school and you do
fill
this and you
that
do
void.
that. Yeah, to try to fill the void. But now there's no void. Now it's just you and God. So all that
Ooh,
stuff that you stuffed and all them feelings that you stuffed, now everything is coming up and now you're getting ready to really heal. Now the healing is coming because there's nobody stopping that healing process now. And you're
right.
like, oh my goodness, like now
No
everything is just
distraction.
coming up. Yeah. So that was a blessing because I needed that, and that was very much needed. You know what I'm saying? Because after I lost my son, I started college, got the associates, went and got the bachelor's and stayed in school and stayed working and did this and did that and took the kids in and helped them, all that stuff. And now all that stuff, God moved all that stuff out the way. He
Yeah.
cleared everything out. So now I deserve to heal too, like everybody else. So that's the opportunity that I'm having. But like I said, it's still like a kind of like it's like a little scary feeling. It's a new feeling. It brings on a lot of anxiety, but I do understand that this is my time now. Everybody, I've done help them as much as I can help them and help them and helped everybody. And now it's time to allow God to come in and help heal me so that I can heal as a grieving mom also too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know I was on my own for about I had released my marriage as well, so I was really on my own. And I was on my own for about 10 months. About 10 months just by myself. And you are so right when you say it's just you and God. And a lot
Hmm.
of things that may not have been dealt with, it's time to deal with now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like it
Yeah.
comes up for you, and there's no escaping, there's no running. You
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
you can't go
Yeah.
say, I'm gonna go take my daughter over here because she got to go to the doctor. You can't go over here and say, I'm gonna go over here and deal with the grandkids, and then it's like it's no running,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
running.
And you
You know,
deserve it, and this is the time where, because sometimes, like you said, we bury a lot of things, we bury a lot of things and we cover up a lot of things, and
yes.
what's covered up don't get healed, right? So we have to like uncover, now like it's nothing. Now I have to worry about doing this, or you have to worry about getting better and keep growing. This is your journey, This is your journey. So this was very big girl, like we doing some big girl stuff now. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like, okay, like you said, there's no more running. It's time to face your fears and face everything, and just allow your healing process to happen because God made it this way. He cleared the path for you.
Come
He
on.
cleared it. He cleared it. So it's
Really
like
did.
why, so
Yes,
that's why I
baby.
said this is a
They
blessing,
really did. They really did. They really did, and I'm just so
Yeah.
grateful for the opportunity to have experienced that in this lifetime and be make up some things, and really get myself together in a way that is truly about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we sacrifice so much as Black women. We
Yes, man.
we stay sacrificing and giving. And what I find is that we have a problem with receiving. As Black
Yeah.
women,
And I
really have
agree.
an issue with receiving. And so to be in a space of wisdom at 55, at that time in 54, 55, here at 56, 56, 57, 58, and be here and understand that receiving is okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it helps me to get back and tap into my feminine energy. Because
Okay.
femininity is about us receiving. It's about
Right.
receiving and alchemizing what it is that has been given and then redistributing it.
Right.
That's what feminine
Yeah.
energy is. So
Yeah.
I feel that at 58, I'm really now tapped in. People be saying how they want the soft life now. Soft life
Yeah.
comes with femininity.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Yeah. And know what? I like what you said about the that we have issues with receiving and we don't receive because we're so much of a giver and you
Mm-hmm.
give so much. And then when something is given to you, it's either two things. Sometimes you don't feel deserving because you wasn't given it. You're the giver and not the receiver. So when you
Yes.
receive, it's kind of like unfamiliar. This is an unfamiliar feeling. You know what I'm saying? And then some women struggle with, do I deserve this?
Mm-hmm.
Do I, because you talked about the compensate and the overcompensate. And so then
Yes,
now when it's your time and everyone's giving you and you're giving, it's like, okay, well, it's a funny feeling.
it is.
I can get used to
It
it, but
takes some
it's just a
adjusting.
funny feeling. Yeah, I
Yeah, it
can
takes some
adjust
adjusting.
and it's just a feeling because we're the givers. We're
Uh-huh.
the person that's given. But now that we're receiving, we have to know how to receive it, know that we deserve it, embrace it, so like you said, that we can go ahead and get rejuvenated and get ready to give again,
Yes.
give again. So that's something really important that you just said.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I want to touch on one more thing before you give us the information on how to contact you. I want you to definitely give us information on your book, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
okay, so I want to talk right before we end. I want to talk more about that age anxiety.
Hmm.
Like I said, this society really bigs up youth and beauty, youth and
Yeah.
youth. What are some things we can do to release and also deal with some of that age anxiety that comes from being in this society that promotes youth and beauty?
Hmm. I think one of the major things is to continue to learn how to love yourself. You got to love yourself, and loving yourself is different than pampering yourself, right? Loving yourself is not going to get your hair done, your nails done, and stuff
It's
like
not.
that's not
That's
loving yourself.
maintenance. That's
Yeah, that's
maintenance.
maintaining and
Yeah,
maintenance, but loving
yeah,
yourself is really going in, like searching inside of you, for what it is that you actually want in life. You know what I mean? And
hmm,
accepting who you are because we're going to get older.
yes,
You're going to get older and let society feel what they want to feel. It doesn't, I mean, you have to love yourself enough to say, okay, I'm like me, I'm 55 years old. I love what I see. I've done so much work on myself internally and externally. So I'm not going to allow, okay, so that's what society said is beautiful, young, energetic, this is okay, that is, and it's okay. But I'm okay too. And I'm
and
okay
I'm
in my
beautiful
skin.
too, and I'm
And I'm
beautiful
okay.
too.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And it takes for you to do that because a lot of people
Yes.
don't feel beautiful. You know, a
Hmm.
lot of people don't feel beautiful. They say they do, or they can dress up because it's easy to dress up the outside to cover up what you feel on the inside. You know, so it's about loving yourself, and getting around other people that can give you that same type of love also, who's loving themselves, other
Yes.
women, doing things, going on women retreat, being around women, that's not with all the chaos and all the drama. You have to go with a different breed of women, that's doing these type of things that's making you feel good about yourself. Do the things that make you feel good as a woman about yourself. Accept who you are. Okay, okay, accept your age because it's not even about the competition because you had your time when you were in your 20s and 30s, and now it's their
Uh-huh.
time. Let them have it, but just don't fall a victim of making yourself feel bad because you're not that supermodel on the TV, or you don't have all of
Yes.
this, you don't have all
None of
that.
the don't make the comparisons. Do
Yes, do
not
not
make
do
the
that.
comparisons.
Do
Right.
that. And I think that's once you stop comparing yourself to other people, then you're in the right ball game. Then
Okay.
you're right there. And you do that on a daily basis, and make sure you be around people that's loving themselves also. So we don't have to worry about what society think and what they say is beautiful in the magazines and the TV because you're going to get caught up. You're going to get
Yes.
caught up. So you have to come out of that, and then begin to just love yourself as much as you can and be around people that's going to help you love yourself. And if you don't, be around people that's going to love you until you learn how to love yourself.
Come on,
That's
come
what
on.
I say that we
And
do.
something else we must know and remember that those people we seeing in the magazines and on social media that's young, oh, they aging too.
Oh yeah,
They're,
yeah,
they're
they're
aging
gonna
too.
have their time. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're definitely gonna have
they're
their time.
aging too.
So yeah. And it's not a bad thing. Like, don't let them put a bad stigma on aging
Right.
because it's a blessing to
It
even be
is.
as old as we are. There's people that's
It
dying that
is.
won't see 55. There's
Yes.
people that won't see 54. So you have to be appreciative of the life that God has given you and love every
Mm.
minute of it until it's done. Not living in
Oh,
regret. Yeah,
I love it.
definitely.
I love it. I had one of the I had did a video. I had shared a video. Let me go get this video and see if I can share this now. And I want you to listen to the wisdom of these beautiful, beautiful women here. And they just said so much. Absolutely hilarious. People talk about aging when they hit 30, 40. The interesting thing is you have been aging since you were born, and people don't think of it that way. So this is nothing new. This is nothing to get excited about. And there are actually benefits when you get older. People always think about the things that you lose. Some things I'm 35, so I'm in big trouble. No, not good. I feel good. As good as anyone can feel whenever. So have fun wherever you can and whenever you can. Every day that you wake up in the morning, you'll want to play dress up. Okay. And as I've aged, that has been one of the main ingredients in getting older and better. Because that little girl still says, wake up in the morning and just get fine. Hey, would you ever hear that? Would you ever hear
Yes, yes,
thought that was
yes,
just, I said, oh, that's the
yes,
timeless wisdom. That gave
yes,
us timeless wisdom. And
yes,
I was very
yes.
sure to share it because we need to hear that. And these are all
Hmm.
women who are well over 60 and 70, honey, and all of them was fine. All of them was
Yes,
sassy and
yes. You see how they was
so
dressed?
yeah, girl.
Yes.
Okay. You see that in the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
one, honey. Our sister said, honey, she get up every morning and play dress up.
Yes, 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 yes. And
Yes,
she's
yes,
happy with it. And she's happy. She's definitely
yeah.
happy. So definitely, so I think that was beautiful. I like that video.
Yes, yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
okay, Inez, go into where they can find you. Tell us about your business. Now, I want to know, how
Mhm.
did you get into the mental health and wellness field? What happened?
I was always in my first love was substance abuse in the field of substance abuse. I'm internationally certified drug and alcohol counselor. So I've
Okay.
been working with the homeless population and those addicted to substances for years. So what I did was I went back to school and I got a bachelor's in like social work, so this way I got into the mental health field,
That's my degree.
That's your degree? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So
Master's
now
in social work. Yes.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
good. So now I'm in a master's actually for clinical mental health counseling. And what I did was I got with my brother and we talked about what can we do to be a part of the help for the community, as a masses, helping the masses and not just individuals.
Okay.
So we decided to open up Seeds of New Beginnings, and Seeds of New Beginnings is a mental health agency located in College Park, Georgia, where we offer telehealth and in person. I got a staff of 13 licensed professionals, licensed therapists, peer support, and substance abuse counselors who do individual and they do group and they do individual therapy with all kinds of clients. And our ages is from 5 years old all the way up to seniors. So we're just it's a big it makes me feel really good that I'm able to now I'm in a position to pour back into the communities in Georgia, and to Atlanta, and it feels really good. So we're going to be opening up another site in Jersey from where
I
we
was just
actually
gonna ask,
I'm
was you gonna have
from.
a satellite office in
I'm going
Jersey?
to have a, yeah, I'm going to open up a
Hmm.
site out in Newark, New Jersey, and we may be opening up another office out in Texas also.
Okay.
And the company is new. It's only been open for 3 years. There's a lot of people that don't know
Congratulations.
about us. Thank you. But we're still pushing forward. And we got a lot of great things that I plan to do from Seasonal Beginners. I want to do like an after school program. I want to latch on a daycare center for the clients. So when they do come, they'll have a daycare center on the first floor to watch the children while they're in
Right.
services. Want to do an IOP program. Like we want to do so many different things with Seeds of New Beginnings. So this is just the beginning actually for us.
Good, good. Do you have any group therapy or group counseling for women who may be entering into divorce or who are widowed or who are no longer, with their spouses? Do you have something for that?
No, we don't have anything for that, but you done gave me a good idea now. You done gave me a
Yeah.
good idea to formulate a group for that. So,
Yes.
because like I said, we do have licensed therapists there and pastoral counselors there, also
Hmm.
marriage and family therapy. So maybe
Okay.
I'll put something together for that also. So
Yes.
that
Okay. I'm
sounds
glad I
good.
dropped that seed
Yes.
up in you. Yes,
Thank you,
baby.
did.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
Okay.
that.
Tell us
Yeah.
about your book.
Oh, okay. Well, the name of the book is called Adult in My Childhood Pain, and you can go right on Amazon and get it. It's like
Adult in my
ADULT.
childhood pain.
And it's
Okay.
like adult ADULT, and it's a capital N, and then it's my childhood pain. Like
Okay.
that, adult in my childhood pain. You'll find it out on Amazon. It's an anthology written by 5 women that experience uh, verbal, physical, sexual, and emotional abuse as children, and
Mhm.
how they grew up as women and they latched on to toxic relationships because of what happened to them as children. And they talked about it. And these 5 women in this book, we wrote this book in 6 weeks over Zoom. None of the
That was
women knew
because
each
it
other.
was so much needed to come out, and it
Yes,
just
and we
flowed.
wrote this book
It just
during
flowed.
COVID. Right. And we wrote the book
Hmm.
during COVID. So book is amazing. It's very it's a hard read. I need to tell you, it's not an easy read. A
Okay.
lot of people after that third page, they just closed the book because there was a lot of identification.
Right.
And these women never wrote before. So when they were asked different questions, they was very raw. They were very raw. So this book is
So it's not for
it's
it's not for the
powerful.
weak. It's not for the weak
It's
heart.
not at all. Yeah, it's
It's not
not at
for the
all.
weak
But what
heart.
we
Yeah.
got when we went on a lot of different interviews was a bunch of Me Too's. I went through that too. I went through that too. I went through that too. So it was a lot. This is nothing where people are out in the open speaking about this. But once they did get the book and they contacted the ladies and they just said, listen, you know, me too. Me too. So it's a very powerful read, but it's very good. It's a very good book.
Okay, so they can find that on Amazon.
Amazon, yes, ma'am.
Do they have a Kindle version or an Audible version yet?
Yes, they do have Kindle. They don't have an audible version, but you
Okay.
can go on Kindle also. Even if you just want to see what the book is out, I believe on Kindle there's like a couple pages that you
Uh-huh.
can read for free so that you
Yeah.
can see exactly what it is about. But it's
Okay.
self-explanatory. You know,
Okay.
whatever in that childhood pain is very self-explanatory.
Yes. So,
Uh,
can you tell us briefly how you got through the trauma of losing your son to a murder?
okay. I'm still getting through it. You know,
Hmm.
I'm still in the process. Like I said, now some of the feelings that were stuff is coming up because like we already talked about earlier, now I'm here, empty nest right here. God is
Okay.
doing a lot of work on me, you know, and I'm working on that. But it was really hard, you know, when he passed away, like I said, I jumped into school, you know, and sometimes those traumas you don't want to really face or deal with, though there's so many different things you can do to avoid dealing with those type of feelings, you know, until I was able to get into grief therapy and work out those feelings. And one of the things that I use that helped me get through is that we all got a born date and we all got a death date. And I know that God already had chose that date and that time that my son was going to return to him. So I don't give no power to the person that killed him. I give everything to God. You know, God already said that this was the day you was going to return back, you know. And like I said, where we come from in North New Jersey is a is very hard. You know, living there, there's a lot of gun violence, there's a lot of domestic, there's a lot of things that's going on there. So even living in that environment was very tough for a teenager. You know, I've experienced when at one time he came home, they had poured gasoline all over him, you know, and he'd been through a lot of bullying. He was bullied a lot. You know, he was bullied a lot in grammar school and high school a lot. And getting the only thing that helped me really get through it, and I'm still getting through it, is just to know that I don't give that power to the person that took his life. I just give the power to God, you know, and that's how I get through it. And it's hard when a mom lose someone in the beginning to hear that, you know, you're angry, you know, you want to know
Yeah.
why
You
and
want
like
vengeance.
that. Yeah, and you
You
want
want
vengeance.
answers.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
that.
yes.
Yeah. But none of that what got me through. You know, none of that, that anger, the vengeance, I want to pay the, none of that. What got me through is the acceptance, you know, that now he is no longer being bullied. Now he is no longer going to be a victim or end up in somebody's jail system because you know the system is built. You know, you already know
Yes.
what's going on,
Time
right?
for our
So
men.
he won't be a victim of that. And I feel more calm and at peace to know that he's with God than he's in a care or somewhere out here getting harmed, you know, in the street like that. So I mean, it's hard and we heal every day. Pieces of us heal, you know, every day, you know, and so I'm still going through the healing process. It's something that I will never get over. You know, but I will get through certain pieces of that, you know, and it's like you missing an arm, like you know something is missing. Something is missing, you know, and it'll never be the same. You'll never be the same person, you know, because something really meaningful was taken from you, you know, like that. But I just give all the glory to God. And I like, listen, I'd rather know that he's there and he's safe. He's safer than us. He's in a
Okay.
way better place than we are right now.
He in the
You
knowing
know,
of
he's
all
way
knowing.
better.
He in the
Yes.
knowing of all knowing.
Yeah.
He could
Yes.
work from that space for us better
Yeah.
than he ever could work on this
Hmm.
plane. You know,
Right,
so
you know, yeah.
yeah.
And then I could sleep at night. You know, I could sleep at night. You know, when he was alive and they were doing all these different things to him, it was hard for me to even sleep at night. But knowing that he's with the creator, knowing he is in a better place, I can actually sleep at night because I don't have to go to sleep worrying if something's gonna happen to any of my children, if something's gonna happen to him, because I already know that God was done, he was finished, and he have him, and I know that I'm gonna see him again, you know, so
Yes.
I hold on to that and that helps me, you know, get through as a mother. I don't choose to be sad and broken up like that. I can't live and function like that. I have to give it to God. I have to get that freedom, and it takes work to get there.
Yes, and the thing I heard how you alchemized that pain. You took
Hmm.
that pain and you alchemized it into something positive. You start going to school. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You ain't got your
Hmm.
degree. You started
Hmm.
the mental health therapy business. Like
Hmm.
you took all of that fuel of that pain and that anger and that grief, and you
Mm-hmm.
alchemized it and turned it into a
Yes.
blessing for others. And I just honor
Yes.
you. I give you
Thank
your
you so
flowers,
much.
sis. I give
Thank
you
you.
your flowers right now. Thank you for being a
Thank you
beautiful
so
soul
much.
and a vessel and sharing your life with us, your knowledge, your teachings, and sharing the gift of the seeds of new beginnings because we
Thank
need
you so
more like
much.
you. Thank you so much. We
Yes.
appreciate you. Tell everyone how they can find you.
We are located at 4751 Best Road. We share the same parking lot as the Marriott Hotel. We're right in College Park. Our phone number is 404-738-0408. You can look us up on Google, Seeds of New Beginnings. You will see us in there. Anyone can call. We take over 12 insurances. We take private and from Medicaid, we take Care Source, Amerigroup, and Peach State, and then we take all private insurances. Okay, and we're always hiring too. We're always in need of people. So
Okay.
we have any licensed professional counselors or any licensed therapists or MSWs or BSWs looking
Hmm.
for work, please contact us and let
Okay.
us know. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you also have online group and individual counseling in-house as well as online. So
Yes, ma'am. We do
anybody can
therapy.
be from anywhere and they can
Yes, you can
contact
live
you and get there.
anywhere in the state of Georgia. You can live anywhere in the state of Georgia. We do telehealth and we do in person where you're welcome to come right into our office. Yes,
Say
ma'am.
that number one more time and that website.
Okay, the address is 4751 Best Road. That's in College Park, Georgia, 30337. And the phone number is 404-738-0408. We offer telehealth and in person.
Okay. Also, what is the website?
Oh, it's www.seedsnb.com. That's www.seedsnb.com.
Okay.
If you want to
See,
follow us on Instagram,
come
it
on.
is Instagram.com/seeds of NB. That's Instagram.com/seeds of NB. And we're also on Facebook as Seeds of NB. Awesome.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much, Inez. This
You're
is Inez
welcome.
Bilal.
Thank
I
you so
know this was
much.
such a beautiful, beautiful episode. And once again,
Yes, thank
sister,
you.
you definitely reach out to me if you need me for anything.
You know I
I'm here,
will. Yes,
beloved. I
ma'am.
am here. And we
Yes,
we're gonna
ma'am.
get together about that divorce in widow
Oh,
counseling.
those groups.
We need
Absolutely.
that group. We
Absolutely.
need that group,
Yes,
sis.
ma'am.
We
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
understand how to navigate now once we've left, that relationship or that
Yes, ma'am.
as a
Okay.
result.
That
So,
was a
honey,
great
I
idea.
appreciate
Please, we
you.
got to
Yes,
revisit that. Okay.
yes. All
All
right.
right.
Peace
Thank
and
you so
blessings,
much.
goddess. Bye
Okay.
bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yes, honey. So we had such a beautiful, beautiful time. I just love her. I love her, y'all. I know you had to get a lot of gems, jewels, and wisdom up out of this episode. So join us again for another episode of Feminine Alchemy on Monday, June 10th. In 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live right here on YouTube. More pearls, more gems, more jewels, more wisdom, and dynamic topics for women over 40. Mark your calendars. Be sure to join us over at Feminine Alchemy, the podcast, event page and podcast page. Feminine Alchemy, the podcast, for exclusive content, updates, and showtimes. YouTube community, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tracy, the Sacred CEO. And if you are a woman over 40 and you would like to join a circle of powerhouse women who are seasoned and savvy and over 40 plus, you can join us in our exclusive community on Facebook at Seasoned and Savvy Women over 40. Thank you. I'm Tracy, the Sacred CEO, and thank you so much for joining this evening and have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And please take care of your mental and emotional wellness because many people think it's crazy of me. I seem crazy to go speak with a therapist, but on the real, you crazy if you don't. All right. Have a good evening. Peace and blessings. Love you much.